Fishing line strung across the Louisiana rivers. Gotta catch a big fish for us to eat. He's taking shots in the swamp, catching anything he can. He's gotta make a living, he's a Louisiana man. Gotta make a living, he's a Louisiana man. He's got
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my 2014 college previews. We're going to head to the SEC West and Bayou Country. It is time to talk about Louisiana State, otherwise known as the LSU Tigers. You can count on several things from LSU. One, they're going to win at least 10 games per season. Two, they're extremely well coached. And we know that being from Oklahoma and remembering Les Miles when he was at Oklahoma State. He'll take on any sucker out there. And you know what? For the most part, let her rip. You got to love that guy's charisma. You got to love what that guy, brings to the game. Also, too, they're going to be a team that recruits extremely well. They did this past season. In fact, they could have as many as 6 true freshman starters this year. Could very well happen. But you also know, too, that they're going to have several players, just like Bama, just like Florida, just name a couple of other schools that will have underclassmen leave early to go to the NFL. You can't blame them. You've got an opportunity to make millions of dollars, at that young age. I mean, who am I to tell you what to do and say, yeah, finish your last year of college? No, take the money if you know you're going to be a NFL pick and you have a shot at making it. And again, 6 underclassmen left LSU for the NFL. A lot of skilled players gone, but it doesn't mean that LSU won't be a factor. I think they will be for the upcoming season. Offensive line-wise, they hardly lost anybody. In fact, all but one of their offensive linemen are back, and that does include Lael Collins. This guy, left tackle, maybe the best run-blocking lineman we've seen this year. 315, 6'5". He should be the anchor of that line. Looking at the receiving core, not as experienced. Only 2 guys back for LSU that caught at least 1 pass in 2013. Talking about Traven Durrell and also Quantavious Leslie. And Rob Bolton, you might remember him from Penn State as a quarterback, converting him to a receiver for his final year. And stud to watch out for LSU, guy that could play right away, that is Malachi Dupree. Heard a lot of good things about Dupree. The running game also has some players to replace. By the way, if you're curious, too, as far as who LSU lost wide receiving-wise, Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry. They were terrific, especially after the catch, the way that they were able to accelerate. Running-wise, you do miss Jeremy Hill. You're going to miss Alfred Blue, but you're not going to be luckless in the backfield. Terrence McGee and Kenny Hilliard, you have experience there. But the best back of the bunch appears to be a guy that's getting compared a lot to Adrian Peterson. And that is Leonard Fournette, a guy that's actually from Louisiana in terms of his high school playing days. New Orleans, St. Augustine. For his career, he gained over 7,600 yards on the ground, and by the way, had 88 career touchdowns. So I'm hearing a lot of terrific things about Fournette. Could be a starter at some point during the season. He's going to be one to watch. The quarterback position, Anthony Jennings, from what I've heard, is number 1 on the depth chart. Had that game-winning touchdown pass to Durrell last year in the regular season finale against Arkansas, but didn't play all that great against Iowa in the bowl game, even though LSU did win. Could Brandon Harris, another freshman, step in if Jennings isn't able to master the Cam Cameron offense for LSU? Let's wait and see. Defensively, the ends are back, and they're very, very good. We are talking about guys that can make an immediate impact for this team. Daniel Hunter, Jamarvia Rasco, those guys, if they can get that quarterback pass rush, then that should make it easy for that linebacking core. Linebacking core, by the way, returns a couple of guys entering 2014. Talking about DJ Welter, Quan Alexander, and look out for the X Factors too, Lamar Lewis and a freshman by the name of Clifton Garrett. The tackles going to be fairly new. Trevante Valentine, another freshman, could see playing time as well if they don't redshirt him. Anthony Johnson's not there anymore, and to me, he was the heart and soul of that LSU defense. I thought he was that important. Secondary, a little bit better shape. The corners are back. Could be the best corner tandem in college football with Tre'Davious White, Rashard Robinson returning. You got to remember, LSU's defensive backs are not only athletic, fast, but they are tall, too. So that does make it hard for that quarterback to thread the needle sometimes. And then the safety position, we're going to see how the Jalen Mills situation plays out. This is why I kind of aired my LSU report later than I wanted to. I wanted to see how his legality situation would work. If you don't know, back in May, he was accused of hitting a woman, knocking her unconscious, got arrested in June, got suspended from the team indefinitely. But just recently, as a matter of fact, on August the 10th, Les Miles did lift that suspension so he can practice with the team. Mills' attorney, by the way, says that his client, will plead not guilty. I'm already hearing stories about eyewitnesses saying that Mills, didn't do anything, never hit her. We're going to see how everything plays out. One feather in Mills' cap as far as the situation. The Baton Rouge district attorney on this case has actually downgraded the original charge, which was a felony second-degree battery, to a misdemeanor battery. No trial date, by the way, still has been set. So we'll try to keep you up to date as far as anything we know. We'll put an annotation on this video once we know anything new. Special teams wise, good news. Colby Delahousie, 13 of 14 last year. Place kicking, he's back. Your punter's back too, and Jamie Keene. So experience returns. The schedule for LSU. There must be something about the state of Texas lately that LSU likes, playing games neutral site. And lately it's been in Dallas, like last year it was with TCU, and before that, and a few years ago against Oregon. By the way, LSU won both. This year they're going to Reliant Stadium in Houston, and they'll play a quality opponent for the Big Ten in Wisconsin. That's the first game of the year. Then your next difficult game figures to be against Mississippi State, but that's at home on September 30th. Back-to-back road games in early October. At Auburn, at Florida. The Auburn game figures to be one of the toughest of the season. That could be LSU's first loss. Florida will be better. The following week you play Florida, and they will be better than last year, a lot better than last year, but I still don't think they're on LSU's level just yet. And then Ole Miss comes up later in the year, final game in October for LSU. Ole Miss beat them last year, revenge game obviously for the Tigers. And then 2 weeks to prepare for hated rival Alabama. Tide have won the last 3 in the rivalry, including 5 of the last 7. The final 2 games of the year are interesting. They're both on the road. You play Arkansas a little earlier in the year than normal. You normally play them Turkey week, but now you're playing them in mid-November. You play them on the road, and then you close out the year during Turkey week at Texas A&M. Best case scenario, I have LSU, best case, winning everything. When you return everybody on the offensive line, and by the way, when you have a secondary that potentially, if the legality situation with Mills works in his favor, there's no reason to think that LSU can't win every game. They're that talented. They're that well coached. And again, an experienced offensive line can take you a long way, even with the skill players that they have to replace. And again, the freshmen I'm hearing about, Dupree as well as Fournette. If these guys live up to the hype, watch out. This team will be dangerous. Worst case scenario, 8-4. We tend to forget how valuable Zach Mettenberger was to that team and how he was able to grasp the offense of Cam Cameron, the new offensive coordinator, the guy that took over last year. It meant that LSU was a balanced offense, and they, by the way, improved in their passing total compared to year one. Will the new quarterback have the decision-making skills that Jennings or Harris, whoever gets to start, will possess? Early on in the season, it doesn't, suggest so, because Mettenberger had the experience. But if those guys can grasp it as the season goes along and can rely on other elements of the team to get them through those early games, everything will be fine. But otherwise, that lack of experience at quarterback could lead to an 8-4 record. And also, too, the defensive tackles are new. And again, I do think that Anthony Johnson's absence is at least early on, could have a factor for that Tiger defense, especially against the run. Likely scenario, 10-2. 10-2 for the Tigers. They're going to have double-digit wins again. I think Auburn and Alabama will be the 2 losses on the schedule, so I think LSU will finish in a tie for second place, 6-2 in the SEC West. But a major bowl game is definitely possible. And again, the Tigers will again play some sort of factor in the national race. I just don't think they're going to get 11 wins, which I think is going to be necessary to get into that college playoff. Maybe 11 wins after a bowl game. That's my look at LSU. Another report coming soon. Thanks, everyone.